But we're here in Fairfield, Connecticut. The terrible towel look for the PLL. An awesome atmosphere as we get ready for Chrome and Cannons. Chrome in white, Cannons in blue. We are underway. Cannons did not even dress a face-off guy this week, so expect Connor Farrell to get possession early and often for Chrome, but they need to capitalize on it.
They do. Assists and the helpers in the PLL, they're sharing it.
We're just talking about Matt Kavanaugh, that instant impact he's made in his first season with Cannons. And it's really becoming a three-headed monster for Holman, Nolting, and Kavanaugh on attack for Cannons.
Winning these face-offs and kicking it back is going to be a problem. It's 32 seconds on the shot clock off a face-off win or a restart. It's 52 when the defense gets the ball and clears. It is 14 seconds now once they become settled.
Here's Wisnauskas. Going behind a Morrill, curling around. Shot clock expired.
With both Brian Holman and Marcus Holman. And I really tapped into that relationship of father and son, coach-player, and they are very like-minded. They understand when it's time to be a player and a coach, a son and a father. And what Brian Holman's done in one shoot at full speed, in full stride. Chris Aslanian, one of the most underrated shooters in all of professional lacrosse.
You have to wonder, Kark, at what point do you start thinking about making a goalie change? Number 50 in cage, Sean Scanoni, nursing a right knee injury.
That's a good point, Dana. Scanoni's been there, Giles, and lost to Virginia. And he has all the pieces to be a big-time pro. That's big right there for Farrell to win the face-off in front of him. And when he goes behind, Cannons then drop. And Cannons are electing to give Farrell the face-off wins and have him deal with a short shot clock as opposed to fighting and winning the face-off themselves and dealing with that.
Well, I think the initial point was my kids were going to start to playing. And then the second thing, after I started to watch it more and more, is I grew up obviously being an absolute lover of football. Physicality, you got to hit people, you got to be tough to play. And I think that this sport represents that.
Marcus Holman with career goal number 302 beats Scanoni to make it 5-1 Cannons.
That's one of the most accurate shooters the sport has ever seen. And Dan, when you watch a player shoot the ball now, because I know you do some coaching too, what's critical when you see a guy like Marcus Holman in terms of his success?
Well, I think one, how he catches it high and goes low, right? He catches high, releases high, and fires low. Second, that ball's painted right at that left kind of upright. Painting corners, such a big deal. That's something you used to talk to my kids about when they were younger, and that's why he's got 302 goals, man.
Absolutely, and Holman, I always say he has a radar at the corners, and it's the deception, right? The high shoulders, the elbows up, goalie thinks high, he stings low.
Coached obviously by his father, Brian Holman, who gave that interesting soundbite that he doesn't get the respect that the elite deserve. An 11-year pro, 8-time All-Star. There's so many guys like that across all sports that are just terrific throughout their career, but maybe don't.
Plus pounds. But then, and this, Jay, kind of answer your question a little bit more of why I've kind of fallen in love with lacrosse is, like football, it's similar that it's rooted in you have to be physically tough. And then I think athleticism takes you to the next level. Same in football. And then once you master the intellect, that's when you become a really good player. And I think both those sports have very kind of parallels with that. That's why Anthony Richardson is one of those unicorns, because he has every single aspect of that to be a great player.
But the toughness is not
skills into traits like that.
Yeah, it's so interesting you bring that up too, the contact balance. I was with Ryder Garnsey from the Redwoods. He's probably the front runner for the MVP of the PLL 2 days ago. And we were talking about shooting and training in the backyard. The contact balance, he does so much training in terms of his stick work with being off balance.
Sure.
So he actually does wall ball with one leg.
You gave that guy got a ball he could shoot with, and that's everything. It's all connected.
And where is the most net when you're directly in front of it?
You got all sides of it, right?
Yes, you have all sides. You have the entire 6x6 you're staring at. If he starts to sway left or right,
he's cutting his angles
he's
off,
cutting
right?
his angles. He stayed right through the heart of that defense. You made that point.
Here's Holman. Cannons with all the momentum. Behind the back, Kavanaugh couldn't control it. Still trying to dig it out against Manley. A flag comes in. Got one son by blood, but I've got 19 sons in that locker room. We love each other, and you felt that in the first half.
And don't be mistaken by the fact that these grown men, full adults, who some have their own families and are fathers and husbands, they want to feel that, right? They need to feel that. They need to feel that love in the locker room from a coach, and it's obviously changed everything.
Exactly what Chrome needed to start this second half. Sam Hanley stings it right past Colin Kirst.
When we talked to Dan Orlovsky in the second quarter, I mentioned Hanley is the unicorn. Why? He's 6'5", 240 pounds. He's so two-handed. Sam Hanley is a right-handed lacrosse player. There is no difference when he has a full head of steam, when he splits you to the right or he splits you to the left. It is 95 miles an hour of pure gas regardless.
Fourth overall pick. People were very surprised he fell to number 4. Chrome capitalized. It was rookies a year ago in Nick Turn and Wisnauskas that were the reason why Chrome performed.
Double the amount of assists per games. He is finally looking at the game like he did in college, where things are in slow motion. He has the potential with this unit around him, the shooter in a guy like Marcus Holman, to really start feeling that true quarterback role.
Another face-off win for Farrell, and yet basically a turnover. Yeah, it was a shot saved, but a quick possession. So even though Chrome leading the face-offs 11-3, it's been cannons that have really been one-way traffic here.
Stature of Jackson Morrill compared to Asher Nolting gets it done.
So here's something. A week ago, Chrome loses 10-7. They only score 7 goals. 5 of the 7 scored in the third quarter. They already have 2 goals, and we just started the third quarter. Matches their total for the entire first half. What's different?
I think it's finally understanding to give it to your attack, right? This attack unit with Morrill, Wisnauskas, and Nick Turn, it will start to pop. They're too talented. And then I think if he tried to get that at like 2, Scanoni's too big and will hold the pipe. He takes that extra step, and he also extends his arms out, which extends his angle, essentially.
Most guys would rush it in that spot.
You rush it, you think about the clock, but for a veteran, 3, 2, 1. For a rookie in that spot, 3, 2, 1. Right? He just knows game clock scenario.
Helmet powered by Cash App. Marcus Holman's been terrific tonight, as he has been all season. 2 goals and an assist. You said Ryder Garnsey earlier tonight is the MVP favorite, and I respect that opinion. He's certainly the human highlight reel.
No one would argue that coming into the weekend.
I would agree with you, and he's a human highlight reel. He's on SportsCenter Top 10 every week.
From JT, he's going to start dealing. But the Chrome have so much faith in JT that say, you have to own this matchup, but he's not tonight.
When you say you can get into the body with JT Giles Harris, Nolting's the only dude in the league that's built and can do it.
Maybe Zed Williams.
Romar Dennis?
Yeah, Romar's got a lot of speed too, so he doesn't like to play the body. Rambo and the beauty of his game is he's always had a monster X on his back. You remember, he's a first-team All-American as a freshman at Penn in 2019. A marked player from that day on.
You're on the top of every single scouting report.
So he knows pressure, he knows early slides, and he can quarterback from up top.
Hartzell, terrific play from the veteran. Holman slows things down. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, thank you guys. 1 quarter away is right, so we just got to make the next play. So.
Always about the next play, but I want to go and rewind just for a moment, Coach. Asher Nolting has been going after JT Giles Harris with success. 3 goals unassisted against the reigning Defensive Player of the Year. What makes him such a matchup problem?
Yeah, just what you see. I mean, he's a big guy. He's incredibly skilled, and he's got, I call it,
mark, and he jumps and shoots in the same motion.
And it was great to get that insight from Nolting's head coach, Brian Holman. It talked about that passion. You feel that passion.
You do.
Before he's even
Bam.
released the shot, he says,
Got unbelievable hands. Stylistically, he does some things not at the level of a Josh Byrne, but he's got the left hand, the swooping motions. Byrne, we'll see next against the Atlas when the Chrome, or when the Chaos play. When the Chrome are finished, we have Chaos and Atlas, and Josh Byrne, one of the most electric players in the PLL, who suits up for the Chaos, the double deuce.
you can watch that game on ESPN Plus. Should start around 8:30. Chrome inches away from another goal. Kirst jumps up and grabs it right off the